I can't end tonight without talking about probably the most iconic scene you've been in, the scene in Alien when the creature bursts out of the chest, John Hurt's chest.
You've spoilt it for me now.
It's going to ruin your experience.
Oh, I can remember. We got told to be quiet when we went to see it because we were screaming too much. No, and you've got to think, it's meant to make you scream. We obviously overdid it slightly. But...
What kind of gang were you with, Graham?
Well, you know, no, but I read, and this seems incredible, I mean, you and other cast members talking about the filming, that in that scene with John Hurt, that you weren't entirely clear about what was going to happen?
We knew what happened in the script. We knew that something came out of John Hurt's chest because his line was, "Oh my goo-ah." Yes. And he never delivered that line. He came up with something better. But when we got down to the set, everyone was in raincoats, which should have given us a clue. We knew that this would happen, but we did not know how they would make it happen because this was before CGI. So everything you see in the film is actually happening. And I think there's a great master where you see the whole cast kind of going, because something does happen. It happened effortlessly with just a few, I don't know, hoses and things like that, and we're all just astonished because it was so real.
Well, look, we think we worked out how it was done, right?
Really?
Yeah. So, we have a prop. We have a prop. So if we want to come over and check it out to tell us if this is how it's done. So come with me. Now, Sandy, you've never seen the... Do you want to be John Hurt?
I don't know. Is it a good part?
Yes. Oh. You can be John Hurt.
It's memorable.
So, basically, this is... I'll take this off here. We go like that. There's a little seat in there.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
So you hop on there. Now you put your little... Not little. You're just your arms. I'll shove you in. There you go.
Oh. My arm's in here.
There we go. Into the little sleeves there. Okay. Is this sort of what it was like?
It's exactly the way it was.
Yeah?
Oh, exactly.
Oh, I love Sigourney because she's humouring us. Now, Sandy, you've been very good. No.
No.
But no, if you get into your character...
We're having breakfast,
okay.
and suddenly he starts coughing.
Right.
And he can't stop coughing,
okay.
and then suddenly something starts to burst out of his chest, and...
Okay,
yeah, it's exactly
you're
how it begins.
in the end, he's in terrible pain. No. We're going a bit hysterical. Is this right?
Yes.
Okay,
all right.
so you're thrashing around. Just move a leg. You're thrashing. Okay. We're doing a bit of screaming and maybe moving backwards.
Yes. Bravo. It's good, isn't it? Not bad.
Oh, my God! I have never seen that film.
Right. It looks a little like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I bet no one has ever seen it from this angle.
Isn't our prop scene good? Isn't that fantastic? Do you want to get out?
No, I'm fine.
Let me get you out.
Well done.
Well done to the man under there.
Yes.
Well done to him. You want to go and sit down again? Are you covered in blood? No. Did any of it splatter? No, that's right. Because we tried it in rehearsal and they were a bit enthusiastic with the blood.
Do you know, I can honestly say that is not something that will ever have occurred to me might happen in my life. It was just... I've never seen a thing rise up like that.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Uh-oh.
You return as Laurie Strode in Halloween. It opens on the 19th of October. Now, here's the thing. So we're 40 years on, unbelievably 40 years since the first Halloween movie. And there have been other Halloween movies, but we discount them, isn't that right?
That is correct. We are just connecting the dot between the movie from 1978 and the movie in 2018.
And Laurie Strode, I mean, her story could have gone in any direction. But how it affected her is really extreme.
Well, it's gone the way that trauma will take you. You know, October 31st, 1978, she was young and filled with promise and excitement, romantic, dreamer. And then October 31st happened, Michael Myers showed up, and the next day she went back to school a changed person, because by then she was a freak and she was just the person that survived him, and she got no help. So you see a woman who's carried trauma for 40 years. It cost her her family, cost her her marriages, cost her her child, because she knows he's going to come back, and obviously that's what happens on October 31st, 2018. And
you are ready for him. I mean, she is fully weaponized at this point in her life.
Well, she is traumatized and weaponized. It is a combo platter.
But then you did have to... I would have thought for some other movie you'd have had to do weapons training, but for this one, you went and shot real guns.
I did. And the first day I went in for my ballistics training, there was a guy named Ray in Charleston wearing basically a Halloween sweatshirt, who was obsessed with Halloween, and they didn't tell him I was coming in. And of course, there was a moment where he turned around and he was completely overcome. And then what happened was he wanted me to shoot his laser disc. So they took the Michael Myers face, put it all the way down the gun range.
Yeah.
And for my first shot with this Winchester, which is a live round, it's a big, heavy gun, clunk, clunk, boom. And do you have a picture of it?
No, do we have a picture of it?
Do you? There is a picture that exists. Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you give it to us?
No, I thought maybe they would have looked it up on my Instagram site, because I mentioned that it was on there.
Oh, I tell you what I'll do. I'll say, yes, we do, here it is, and then tomorrow night on telly, it'll magically be there.
Okay, so...
Watch this,
Watch this. So, there I was, Winchester in hand, boom, boom, live round, boom.
Wow, and I think we've got the picture.
Do you have a picture of it?
Wow! Pretty good.
Right between the eyes, that Michael Myers.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yes.
Yes, I could see that.
Ray was very, very happy.
I bet he was. Listen, we've got a clip.
Isn't show business fun?
Or it's not in the show tomorrow night and we all just look like idiots. I say I watched this film, I probably saw maybe a third of it. Most of it, I was just like, oh, make it stop.
I will say this, the movie is incredibly intense, very, very, very scary.
Obviously, real vampires consume a lot of blood. People pretending to be vampires, how much blood do they have to eat?
A lot of blood. Yeah, a lot of blood. And it varies. There's, like, loads of different variations of blood. There's one that's, like, just for aesthetic purposes. It's very... You must have dealt with blood, right? Fake blood.
All the time. Sick to death of it. O2, O-A... What's the other ones? E-D-I-S-C.
Yeah. It's just,
all the time.
We had different types. There's, like, a human blood, which is dark, and then there's a sparkly blood, which is like a vampire blood. But they made one that I could drink regularly that was made out of, like, hibiscus tea and raspberry.
Was it nice?
Something. No, it was awful. So it was like Sour Patch Kids. It was really... Yeah.
What did they use for brains? Because we always used to have squash banana and oats for brains. You blow someone's brains out, yeah, you get squash banana and oats. Very good.
Were you eating?
Yeah.
What?
Were you eating?
I'd eat some brains. As all cops do.
And you have said, Olivia, that you're not a great one for the research.
Understatement. Yes. Sorry. I love you.
No, but you must have done some for this. No. You must have done some for this.
Yep.
No. You licked a stamp.
Well, we were all given lovely Polly, who's a movement coach, and it turns out I can't change what my body does. So I still walk like me, which is, I've been told, quite like a farmer. And
no, I have said, there's a scene in it, and it's you and Prince Philip walking up the garden.
Is it filmed on the back of my head?
No, it's the two of you walking up towards you out in the garden.
Yeah.
Did
you say farmer?
Oh,
OK, so...
Does the Queen do arms?
Yeah.
Well, Every now and then
then
when
you did
I'm
it.
really concentrating, I can get a little bit right. So was I doing that as well?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not very good at...
But you go to extraordinary lengths to research
I go
things.
to ridiculous things. I don't think it necessarily is necessary.
But I enjoy it. I do
But
enjoy
you
it.
love it.
I love it.
And
I like the...
Were you brilliant at school at research and projects?
Yeah, I was a SWAT.
Shit at it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you've got a friend... Is it a friend of yours who's a psychic?
Oh, God. Ooh. Yeah.
This is my favourite bit.
It's funny how one story comes out and then it obliterates. So it's the defining thing.
In fairness, other actors going, OK.
I want to hear
A
more.
psychic.
I want to hear...
Well, look, yeah, I did meet a psychic who's a friend of mine, and I was seeing her. She's got lots and lots of different strings to her bow, and she does healing, and she does other things. But she also has a talent for mediumship. And as I was seeing her for something else, she said, "Oh, Margaret is here. Does that mean anything?" And I said, "Yes, it does." And I suddenly thought, well, I've got... If
This
I'm
is before you get...
I had been asked to play her. I hadn't actually said yes at that point. And I said, well, yeah, no, actually, if you've got the horse, you know, the horse's mouth, it's in the room. You're not going to say,
yes.
No, actually, you know. So I said, yeah. And I said, would you mind if I played you? And she said, I prefer you.
What
She
the
said,
answer was?
No, she said, well, no, she did say, I think you're a better idea than the other actor.
Ooh.
The other idea. The other, you know, the other.
Who was the other?
They never told me the other possibility. But whether it was true or
There's
not...
the sound of a lone gunshot right now.
No. But it was a very typical Margaret thing in the...
Because you had met her.
I had met her. She had a way... Oh, yeah, a couple of times.
Know this.
Yeah, you see, you didn't ask. She had a way of sometimes complimenting you and putting you down at the same time. She was... and the fact that she said, oh, yeah, I think you're better than the other... It was just like you never knew where you were with her. Then she came through with another note, which was useful, whether it was true because the psychic was fantastically intuitive or there really was the ghost of Margaret telling me, I don't know, but the note was good, and she said, get the smoking right.
OK.
And I smoked in a particular way, and always remember that the cigarette holder is as much a weapon for expression as anything else. And that was a good note. And she was somebody who was innately dramatic. If you're royal, you can't necessarily talk much. You're a walking icon. You're a walking... So she was very, I think, conscious about the silhouette and whatever she did with her body, and particularly with her hands. And so, you know, anyway. Am I waxing?
No, I love you. I just don't...
You don't believe in talking to dead people?
No.
I didn't... But on Silence of the Lambs, is it true that... Did you never speak to Anthony Hopkins?
No, never spoke to him. He was scary. I mean, the first day we had a reading, we had like a little read-through, and I got there early, and then I went to the bathroom, and I came back, everybody was sitting down, we did the read-through of the film, and by the end of it, I never wanted to talk to him again. I was petrified. And so then we did the whole movie. He was always behind the glass partitions, or he was in his cell, and because the scenes were so long, they'd kind of lock him in at the beginning of the day, and he'd go there, and then the next day, he'd be on the other side, and I'd be on this side, and we got to the end of the movie, and it really had never had a conversation.
But you never passed backstage in a corridor?
No, I avoided him as much as I could. I really avoided him. And then I was eating a tuna fish sandwich. It was the last day, and he came up to me, and I guess he sidled up to me, and I said, I don't know, I sort of had a tear in my eye. I was like, I was really scared of you. And he said, I was scared of you. I think it's funny, because why would anyone be scared of me? I don't know.
So when you were filming the scene, you know, I'm available.
Would you do that again?
When you were filming the scenes when he was behind the partition, while they were reset cameras, you just sat there?
Well, yeah, because he was screwed in. I couldn't get to him. He was behind the glass.
Did he stare at you?
Sometimes he did.
I don't have an Anthony Hopkins story, but I would like to take the opportunity. I taught a child called Gary Hopkins, who was... That's the camera. And I'd very much like to take the opportunity to say he was a...
I'm interested. You were able to watch that scene. I thought you looked away during the kind of...
Oh, no. Oh, I know what you're talking... No, I did. By the way, I hope you heard I was cracking wise over here watching it, because I don't even like watching it on a clip. I'm very uncomfortable with it. I don't like horror movies. They scare me. I don't know why you guys do. I really appreciate that you do. But I don't like them. But I had to see the movie. You know, I'm about to go out around the world and promote it, and I was like, I gotta see the movie. So they screened it for me by myself in a theater. But I watched it in an empty theater, but I had the volume control. So I was groovy. All the talking, great. The minute the music comes up and the thing, I'm turning it down to 0, and I turn away. But, swear to God, they insisted on having a guard in the room so that I wouldn't pirate my own. And I'm telling you, I was like, wait, what? And the guy's sitting in the back. So my entire movie, I turned the volume down, I'd turn my head like this and go like this, but I got to listen to him. And he'd be like this, oh no, oh no, oh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, really? I'm gonna pirate my own movie.
Yeah. But I'm
Sell it to China.
I'm not great. I did look away. But when I watched it. Lydia and David, can you watch? You can, can't you, Lydia?
I can. I prefer horror to murder or like true crime, which is what I'm promoting.
Because you were in the Dracula TV series. That was horror, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
were you a vampire?
Yeah.
I say, was it horror? Check this out. That's
you? Look at the nipple. It's not exactly.
It does seem weird
it's
that
not real.
The nipple is fire retardant. I mean, that must have taken forever.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it was 4 hours in the morning, and then to take it off was 2 hours.
How thick is it? Were you in a suit, kind of?
No, so the head is prosthetic, then they had the hair and the ears, and then the hands, and then it was like a leotard suit thing, a legging kind of thing, and then they make the feet around.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you were filming this in the summer?
Yeah, so I was filming in the summer, and the old Hartswood studios had no air conditioning, so we were all boiling, and it was a heat wave in July.
You do look like you've just stayed on the beach a little too long.
I'm also eating a caramel bar.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I know that horror is not real. I can kind of stomach it. It depends, not too scary.
And David, what are you like?
I don't mind a horror film. They can be frustrating sometimes. Not your ones.
Not mine.
Your ones are perfect. It can be a bit like, you know, oh, don't go into the scary mansion on your own. The tropes can be... I mean, I always remember the Blair Witch Project. There was that thing they would... But I think, because I quite like Blair Witch Project, but it was a bit, you know, they'd traipse around and they go, oh, God, we've come round in a circle again. And you go, just get in the river, follow the river. It's the glaringly obvious.
Logic.
Yes.
Logic.
Yeah. We did research to see if anyone else had ever played a vampire. One person on the couch has. I give you Alan Carr as Nosferatu.
I know.
Or Yoda.
Yeah. Oh, you should see me hiss.
It's like Demon Yoda.
It took me forever to be that. It's awful, isn't it? I don't even look sinister.
No, it's sort of like if he came towards you like that, you'd be like, oh, go on then.
You want to hug?
Saying that.
Oh, lovely. Hey, and Alan, let's also mention you are reuniting with your good friend Amanda Holden in Amanda and Alan's Italian Job. It started earlier tonight on BBC One at 8:30, and it continues on Fridays. You are doing up another house in Italy. The last one, you raised how much for Children in Need?
£130,000. Yeah, I know. I was really surprised. So this was my choice, because last year's was Amanda's choice. So this is in Tuscany. I got one for €1. I picked it and we turned up, and, yeah, it's a shitty.
OK. And what is it a house or is it flats? What is it?
No, it's a big house. It's amazingly still €1. And it's this medieval townhouse next to the river, but everyone's sort of left. It's got a really sad story to it.
Because the last one, it was like squatters. I don't know if you saw it. So we went in there and it was just ripped. But we went in there was... The woman's cup was still on the side. There was an egg cup. It was like the Marie Celeste, you know, and then heartbreaking. So we had to be a bit sensitive to that and stuff, so... No, you know what? Look, this is me trying to be sincere.
The poor old lady with the cup.
Yeah.
Something awful.
Yeah.
She was gone.
Vampires.
Yeah. She died.
Oh.
That's good.
Not for her.
Well...
Don't do a reading at the funeral. It's what she wanted.
Yeah. Well, at least you didn't live to see your house sell for €1. My heart. Because, Dominic, where were you? Was it in Hoxton you were doing up a house?
Yeah, I did. I had an old house in Hoxton, which was 1700 or something, and it was it was an office, and it was lain empty for about 5 years or something. So I got it quite cheaply, and it had a derelict thing at the back. And I remember thinking, this is... And you do think that when you see a ruin like that, I don't know if you get it, you see a ruin, you think, oh, it's lovely. And actually, it's the best time is then, and then you come along and you ruin it. I mean, you do it up and ruin the ruin. But this house was a bit odd. It had a poltergeist, because it was 300 years old, and it was built on next to a plague pit, where just in Hoxton, where they used to bury them 20 deep, you know.
Good price, you say?
Very good price. And this poltergeist, and my friend was there, and stuff was flying around. And,
did you see anything like that?
I didn't, but it always had a bit of a weird feeling to it. And then I went away, and he moved in, and his friend moved in. His friend was a vicar, and I might have wakened something in the poltergeist, who started chucking stuff around. And so I then looked into exorcising it.
Yourself?
The Exorcist.
You're saying this all so casually.
Well, no.
The story.
It was a while ago, but anyway, it all worked out. It's still there. Didn't tell the guy who bought it off me, but hopefully he's not watching. So I looked into it. How do you exercise you know? And it's quite a process. It's a real thing, and it's quite a process, and you have to look into the history of the whole house and try and identify who might be the unsettled spirit, and you know, this is 300 years old, how was I going to do that? Then you go to the Catholic Church, and they have to, the bishop has to approve, and all these, you know, there's a whole office in the Vatican does all that. And then this guy was advising me like this, and I was going, oh, when am I going to get rid of this poltergeist? And he said, or you just have a kids' party. Just get a load of kids in there, and it settles the spirit. It cheers everything up, and you get loads of kids in there, and one or two kids their head might spin round, but it'll be fine. You know? So we just had a couple of parties, and it was it settled it down.
Oh, that worked?
Yeah, and that's how you exercise a house. Kids. Chuck the kids in there.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
If only Linda Blair had invited some friends over. How different that film would have been. And Alan, are you saying your house was a bit...
Yes, it was haunted. We had things fly around in the house that we did up as well.
Did you see things flying around?
We were filming a piece to camera, and I said, can you stop turning that lights on and off? And they went, we're not doing it. And then we all were like that, and it was going kick, and then a bottle of wine flew out the wine rack and everything.
Did it?
Oh, hysterical, man. And then I do believe in that, because do you know I got outed by a Ouija board? Have I told you this?
No.
I got outed by a Ouija board. Me and my mum would do the Ouija board when my dad was away. And I said, is there anyone there? He went, yes. And I said, do you have a message for us? He went, homo, H-O-M-O. And I went, goodbye. Thankfully, my mum can't read, so that was...
Very good.